Hi, welcome back to my channel, Fabulously Frugal and Fancy. I'm Brandy. Today's video is very easy Easter decor. A lot of these products came from Dollar Tree. Some did not, but I will tell you which ones did. These are very easy DIYs. I got this crate on clearance last year after Easter. I believe I picked it up at Hobby Lobby, but I could be mistaken on that, so don't quote me on that one. I just used some Dollar Tree foam and some Dollar Tree florals, and I just make a little floral arrangement with this to go on my entryway. I have a very narrow shelf there, so I can't do anything too large right at our front door when you come in. I just wanted a little bit of spring flowers just to make it look springy, bright and springy, because here in Massachusetts it has not been very bright and springy yet. We've had a lot of rain, so again, I'm just kind of ready for spring and ready for some, bright spring flowers. The other side of that crate I did show you was blank, and after spring, after Easter, I just plan on turning it around so it's just spring and it can stay up for a little bit longer. I'm taking these Dollar Tree florals. These are just some blue flowers that I had in my stash, and I did not buy any new florals this year, so I didn't even go look at what new florals they might have. I just used what I had in my stash. I have quite a big stash of flowers. So I try to use up what I have before I go get more. And I'm mixing all different colors: blue, pink, purple, yellow, a lot of spring colors here. I start with my taller flowers that I want to kind of go in the middle and stand up the tallest. And so I start with the yellow ones. I don't have a ton of those, so I want to kind of spread those out. You always want to do from one side, you want to do what you do on one side, do on the other. And as I'm making this two-sided, I want to make sure that from the front or the back, it looks full and beautiful either way. Because again, I can turn this little crate around to the blank side where it doesn't say Happy Easter and use this throughout the rest of spring until I'm ready to do some summer florals. And again, I'm just cutting these off the stem, separating them out, placing them. When you're doing floral arrangements, honestly, it's up to you. I want to vary different heights, I want to vary different colors in different areas, and I want to fill in all of the areas. So you have to kind of look at it and see what looks good to you. It's not difficult, in my opinion, to just place flowers and some foam. I'm using these pink ones are from Dollar Tree right now, but I don't have a ton of those. I only had one stem of this particular pink rose, and so in just a second I go over to my floral wall and I do get some others. Those came from Michael's, but I got them when they were on clearance. If you look on their website and you see the clearance items of florals, sometimes especially I think I got these in the fall because they're pinks. I got so many pink flowers from Michael's for so inexpensive because they were on clearance. So don't I tend to not shop at those stores for florals and stuff because they are rather expensive. But if you get them on clearance, like these little roses here, I believe these are called cabbage roses, but do not quote me on that because I really have no idea. I'm just guessing at that. But anyway, these little roses I got from Michael's on clearance, and these are just beautiful spring flowers. And again, I mix the colors. You do what makes you happy with your colors, how you want them arranged, how you want to place them. It's all personal preference. So I'm just going from one side to the other. I want to make sure the back is just as full, just as beautiful as the front, because again, we can turn this around and use it for a little bit longer. Actually, I don't know if I'll even change this after, because spring and summer florals are all beautiful to me and just the bright colors. So you just want to fill in any gaps, go in and place as many flowers as you want. If you want to use just plain greenery, you can do that as well to fill in some of the gaps. I don't use any extra greenery simply because I didn't have any extra greenery. I am completely out of greenery right now, and so you'll see what I do in just a little bit when I make my next DIY, because kind of had to get a little inventive. But here's the final product. Here's how it looks sitting on the little shelf there. Sorry for the glare on that picture. I'm not sure why it was kind of so glary. But here's my second project. I got this plastic cloche from, I believe, Michael's. It was with the Halloween stuff. And it was $5 originally, and then it was 50% off because it was after Halloween. I got these crosses in a pack from Dollar Tree, and I stained them with Waverly Antique Wax. This little He Is Risen cutout I got in a pack from Hobby Lobby, and I painted it purple. I didn't want to show you me painting it and staining just because, you know, you see that all the time. And then I take some of the floral foam, and this time I actually take the packaging off, which I usually leave it on while I'm cutting it. But I kind of had to measure, and I just kind of pressed it down to get the imprint of like how big, and then I made it a little bit smaller because I didn't want it to go all the way to the edge there. And I just kind of make a mess at first because this stuff just kind of, I need a proper knife to cut this with. But I take 2 or 3 pieces and I kind of make like a little mountain, kind of like Mount Calvary, because I kind of want it to look, you know, like a hill. And then I'm just taking some more of the floral foam, putting it on top of that one just to kind of give me like that mountain shape. And then I'm trying to place the 3 crosses from Mount Calvary in here. And I'm just kind of placing them down in there right now. I do go back in and glue them in, but I'm just kind of trying to get my placement first because I want to make sure that my cloche does fit down over it. It did not at that point. So then I like, okay, well, I got to kind of angle them just a little bit. So I took the 2 front crosses and I angled them and then refit it. And again, I hadn't glued anything down yet because I want to make sure that this cloche fits over the top. Just kind of playing with the placement. But because I didn't have any greenery, I took some leaves that had been, I have a bag full of leaves that had been on, oh, I'm sorry. First I take this sheer purple ribbon and I kind of triple it up. I just fold it in on itself 3 times and kind of make the little fabric that drapes over the cross. Again, this is sheer material, so but it was wired, so I could kind of bend it a little bit. And then I glue it onto the cross. You can kind of see what I'm doing there. I just kind of folded it over and then I kind of glued it down, and you know, the purple is the sign of royalty and so forth. So I wanted the purple on there. I just glue it to the front and the back so that it's down. And remember to use your little either finger protectors or spatula. This is sheer ribbon. Again, that's why I kind of tripled it up so that you could get that dark purple. It was the only dark purple I had in ribbon. I used most of that at my parents' 50th anniversary party that last summer, so I didn't have any like dark purple ribbon. All right, so now I just glue down the floral foam first. And I'm just kind of placing those there, kind of scrunching it all together. And then because I didn't have any greenery I could shove into the floral foam, what I do have is leaves that I've taken off of other stems. So I have a baggie full of leaves. And to be honest, I thought I had some greenery. I did not. So when you don't want to go shopping, you craft your stash. You go into your stash and you see what you have and what you can make do. So that's what I do here. And I'm sorry I left this part in where I had walked away to find my florals. See, I've got my purple florals, white florals, and then my greenery. It's not really greenery, it's just basically leaves that I've taken off of other things. So I just take that around and I cover the floral foam with it. I glue them on all the way around. It actually worked out well because if I had used anything that stuck out, the cloche wouldn't have fit back on there. So I just glue that around. And while I'm doing that, while you're watching me glue that around, I would like to invite you, if you are not already subscribed to my channel, please subscribe. I am trying to get my channel built up and trying to become monetized. I would like to be monetized before my birthday, which is in May. I am at close to 700 subscribers now, and I need to get to 1,000. Of course, I also have to have those watchtowers. So please watch till the very end. Comment below. I appreciate all the comments I've been getting on my videos lately. It greatly improves your, standing with YouTube. They promote your video more when people are engaging and watch till the end. So please do those things for me. I would greatly appreciate it. It's a free way to support any channel, and mine right now. I would really appreciate it. So again, I just kind of glue the leaves all the way around just to kind of cover up that floral foam and to show that it's a grassy knoll. I mean, I'm not sure if there was grass on Mount Calvary. I've never been there, but I just was trying to make it look green. And I'm just cutting those apart because there was like 3 leaves and like a little plastic thing where it went on the stem. And I'm just cutting the leaves off of that, if you're wondering what I'm cutting there. Excuse me, my allergies have been acted up a little. My throat is very dry, so excuse me just a moment while I take some water in. All right, again, I'm just gluing these all the way around. I'm just kind of covering up the floral foam, and thankfully I didn't get burnt doing this because these were very thin leaves. I really love how this turned out in the end. I wasn't quite sure. I had a vision in my head, and it turned out really beautiful. I made this, gave this one to my mom and dad, and I gave the next DIY to my niece. So I'll tell you about that one in just a minute. But this, I really wanted to make an Easter, the resurrection. I really wanted to bring that into Easter decor. I don't decorate Easter as far as, bunnies and chicks. I mean, it's perfectly fine if you do. I just don't really decorate much for Easter, but I do for spring, and then I add in some of the Easter touches. And so this is one that I made. I didn't have a place for it, but I did give it to my mom and took it out there to her, and they really enjoyed this. So this little He is Risen sign, I wanted it to be in the front. I just add some hot glue, and again, that's in like a royal purple color as well. I didn't cover the top because I kind of wanted to add some florals down in, and after the florals, then I kind of glue a little bit more. It's just kind of about placing and covering all of that moss. I wanted some of these little white flowers. These are hydrangeas, I believe, and I just kind of cut them apart and used some of the little white flowers. They were too big. If you just put the whole stem in there, it was like sticking out too far, and I knew the cloche wouldn't fit over. So I just pulled each little piece of the flower apart, each little flower itself, and I just glued that directly on. Again, I couldn't let it stick out too far because the cloche wouldn't fit, and I didn't want it to look just totally smashed in the cloche. So I just glued all of these on. Some of these had stems, but they were very they weren't wired. They were just like a little thin piece of plastic. So if I shoved them in at all, it wouldn't have worked because they just wouldn't have fit in there. And then I do place some of them a little bit more in the top there. Just again, took some of these white flowers and placed them in there. Cut a couple of them off, and I just kept filling in until I was happy with the way it looked. I love the white with the purple. It reminded me of lilies, and the Lily of the Valley was always a very favorite song of mine. I didn't have any little tiny lilies. I don't even know if I've ever seen little tiny lily flowers, so I used these flowers to kind of represent the lilies. But the Easter lilies, they're not lilies, but you get the same idea with the white flowers there. At least that's what I was aiming for. You'll have to let me know what you think below, how this turned out. I was really happy again with how it turned out. I really liked it. Do you decorate for Easter? Do you just decorate for spring? How do you decorate? Let me know in the comments below if you're thinking of recreating any of these, or what you're thinking of doing. This little cloche, if you had like a glass cloche and you didn't want to make this a permanent thing, you could easily do like a little wooden round at the bottom to glue the floral foam on, and you could recreate this and make it detachable. It wouldn't be connected to the actual cloche. If I had a cloche, I had these little purple flowers. These were left over from my parents' anniversary party. I'd use those for some of the centerpieces, and I'd take centerpieces apart and put the flowers in baggies and hang them in my craft room. And so I can reuse all of the flowers that I use. So these were, I was just kind of taking these apart, and again, not using the long stems. These were on like a long grass. I didn't use any of that. I just kind of placed some of the purple flowers. I glued one there to I had kind of a glob of glue on the cross, and I needed to kind of cover that up. But the way the florals are, it kind of looks like the flowers are kind of growing through the crosses and up the mountain. I really liked how it turned out. So I'm just trying to get a little bit of glue on there. If you're looking at it from the back at the moment, you can see some of that floral foam from there, but from the front you can't see any anymore. So I'm just trying to get some of the little glue strings off, so I'm using my heat gun. And that's it for this one. All I do then is kind of smoosh it all in, and I put the cloche top on the top. And my cloche top, where I had cut that floral foam, the little pieces of it were so attached to this. It was like they were like suctioned to it. All right, and that is it for this DIY. Again, I really like how this turned out. And my final pictures here in just a moment. I'm not sure what happened, but they came out a little bit on the yellowish side. Like they look like they were in yellow light. I'm not sure why. So I apologize for that, but I still wanted to add them in here so you could see the final project in its complete. Here it is, just a little video. I try to show different angles. I didn't worry about the holes in the crosses. They didn't bother me. They were like those little, ornament things. All right, so on this DIY, this one is very easy. This one was inspired by Daily DIYer. I took 2 of the round beaded wreath forms from Dollar Tree, and as you could see, I turned one of them into ears. I just kind of bent it. I thought I was gonna have to cut it, and I was kind of at first just trying to shape the ears, but then I realized, I don't even have to cut it. I can just leave it like this and just shape it like the ears. Then I took some wire, just some crafting wire, and I just wire them together. And I was worried that I'd have to add something to the back because I wasn't sure how stable this would be, but it actually turned out really stable. So I just take the wire and loop it all the way around. I just kind of wrap it around itself and keep wrapping it around until it felt secure. I wrapped it through the ears, around the ear, the beads. I just kind of wrapped it all around to try to get it, as stable as possible so that I could, I was just trying this. I did not know if this would work at all, and it actually turned out really, really sturdy in the end. So I'm just kind of playing with it a little bit and trying to I cut some more wire and I put that on there. And then I go in with hot glue and I just secure like around the beads and under the beads, and I just add a whole bunch of, sorry, I was a little bit out of frame there. At this point, it looks like the head is way too big for the ears, but once I do the crown of flowers, it doesn't look like the ears are too small. So again, I like how this turned out, and I was glad I didn't have to take the beaded wreaths apart at all to get the ears. If you want to, you could, because then it would make the ears just a little bit bigger if you kind of cut the beaded wreath form in 2 different places and then reattached each one. But this way I didn't have to cut the wire in the middle. I didn't have to take it apart, and I just kind of play with it. Then as you see, I'm kind of folding it over and adding some hot glue, and then I just kind of add a lot of hot glue in there to kind of stabilize it. And like I said, this did turn out really, really secure in the end, so I was happy with that, with the flowers and all the glue holding the flowers on. It just really, So I go in and get my stash of pink flowers, and I'm just pulling some out. I end up using you know, variety of different pinks, and I just want to make a flower crown. Again, this I saw the Daily DIYers. That's a YouTube channel here on YouTube. I'm sure you all know who she is. I saw her do this. She did it a little differently. She did it with some larger beads at the bottom, and so I wanted to recreate it with just Dollar Tree items. Some of the flowers are not from Dollar Tree. I'm not sure where all of them are from. Again, this is in my stash, and I leave a little bit of the stem on so that I could kind of shove it in between the beads and into the hot glue that was there. And then I added more hot glue, and I just kept adding everything until I liked how it looked. What I did on one side, I did on the other. Again, that always seems to apply when you're doing something with flowers or any kind of, you know, arrangement like this. I did one big flower in the center, and then I did all the smaller flowers out from there. But what I did on one side, I made sure to do on the other so that it was even all the way on each side. If you're not looking to keep it even, that's perfectly fine as well. Just to tell you a quick little story, I made this for my niece. She's 4, and she told me that I told her I made her a bunny wreath, and she said before she saw it, she said, well, why didn't you make me an elephant? And I said, well, I can't make an elephant. And she said, Aunt Brandy, if you can make a bunny, you can make an elephant. I just thought that was so cute because, you know, I don't think I could make an elephant, but in the mind of a 4-year-old, if you can do one animal, you can do any animal. And I don't know if I'm quite talented enough to make a beaded elephant. I don't think that that's in my capabilities, but thought it was really cute. And then after she got it, she lives about 2 hours from me, so I don't get to see her that often, but I was talking to her and her mom on the phone, and when she got it, I asked her if she liked it. She said, no, I don't like it. I love it. It's hanging on the back of my door. So this is just really cute for any little girl's room for Easter, but it doesn't have to be for a little girl's room. You could hang this anywhere, and I think that it's really cute regardless of where you hang it or what you use it for. Again, because I don't really decorate, and like bunnies and stuff is just not my thing, I didn't really have any place for it. So, but when I saw Shannon on the Daily DIYer make it, I was like, oh, that is so cute. I really want to make that. And so I decided to make it for my niece. I'm just grabbing more flowers out of my bin, and you know, just a variety. These are kind of a peachy coral color. I like to mix all different kinds of pinks together, and I'm just adding flowers until I'm happy with them. If you recreate this, just add flowers until you are happy with them. That one had kind of a long green thing on it, but the other one didn't, so I clipped it off. And again, what you do on one side, you do on the other. Some of these flowers came from Dollar Tree. Some of these may have come from Michael's. I'm not sure where they all came from, but I would just stick them where I thought I would like them, and then I added hot glue to the stem, and then I would push it back in there, and I would kind of wedge it in between where the beads meet together, where the ears meet the head. There was like a little gap there, and that may have added to the security of this, just those stems kind of reinforcing that little gap. And then at the end, I'm not sure if I show it, but at the very end I do flip it over, and I just kind of add hot glue en masse at the back of it as well, just to kind of stabilize everything. And everything did stay on there, and it was very secure. And that is it for this one. It was actually really easy to make. Again, I did not have to cut any wire. Here is the finished product. I think it turned out very, very cute. Just giving you a quick overview of this. And that is it for today. I hope that you enjoyed these DIYs. I hope that you, next time you are in Dollar Tree, you look for little items that you can use, either the beaded wreath or the crosses or just florals in general, and what you can do with them. But until next time, I hope that you have a blessed day. Bye.